Hello, hello. Welcome to Awakening Spiritual Gifts. So I just want to I gotta tell you guys something so funny. I'm laughing at myself. Maybe you guys will think I'm just weird. But okay, so I'm sitting there. I'm always dancing to that little pre-music, like, here we go. Like, I'm so excited. But whenever, especially after last week when I had microphone problems, like it worked for me when I did the test, and then also when I got on the live, it didn't work. So I have this thing where there's kind of like a wrapper inside of me. And so anytime I'm testing my microphone, I'm like, microphone check, 1 2 1 2. It's just wrap this microphone check. And it makes me laugh. So I was doing my big microphone check, and then I went right into the thing and I'm dancing. So I'm kind of laughing at myself. Yeah, kind of cheesy. I did. I used to listen to a lot of rap. That was me as a teenager. So microphone check, 1 2. So anyway, but hey, it at least is double checking to make sure that my microphone is working and that I don't have a repeat of whatever that craziness was last time. So, oh, it's so funny. There's nothing better than just entertaining yourself, right? When you're sitting all alone, entertaining yourself. Gosh dang, I'm like giggly today. That's a good thing. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. I'm so happy to be here and to see all of you guys. You'd buy my CD. You know what? I've actually thought of sometime. I'm like, I wonder if I did like something crazy, like in maybe like the Facebook group or something, like one of the groups be like, okay, here, it's like have some challenge. Like, okay, if we get enough people to do this, then I'll rap. I'll rap for you. Because I do. I have a lot of songs that I like to just blare. Still to this day, my kids know I still have a whole collection, especially that early 90s rap. I was a sucker for it. So anyway, it puts me in a good mood. So how is your day going, you guys? How are you doing? Straighten that out. How are you doing? What's coming up for you guys? Are you guys like resonating with some of these daily reads? I kind of tapped into it beforehand too, so I got a little bit of a message for you. Oh, and this is like, you guys are so awesome. I love all these comments. I love you. And this makes me happy. Welcome, Avantika, and I'm so glad that resonated yesterday, and that yeah, it's just it's so fun. You know, it's like one of these things that the more I see people and see the uniqueness and see the way things move through a person, like everyone is so unique. It's just like jaw-droppingly, like awe-inspiring, amazing how incredible each person is on this planet. And it's not even that everybody has to do anything. It's just the way that you are, the way that you're created, the way that yeah, like to see the way things move through each person, and it's so individualized. Like, gosh, it's amazing. It's so important to have each of us just shine our own light, really shine our own light, because there's no one else on the planet that was made like you. There was no other song of the universe that was playing at the time that you were made and the time you were born. Like, you're it. Like, and you don't even have to have a lot of pressure on yourself. You just have to be more of who you already are, you know? It's pretty cool. Okay, so the little message that came in today was, let's see, do I do the message first? I'm going to do the message first, and I'll tell you the energy that's kind of coming. All right, so the message that came in when I was just like tapping in, like, is there something to share? What is there that we could all use a little boost on? And the message I got was to just remind everyone, including myself, I'm part of the collective too, right? And it just said is to just remember to trust yourself, trust in God, and trust the process. So, and this is specifically in regard to like your life and discovering your gifts and developing your gifts and abilities and living your purpose to its fullness. Like, trust yourself. Like, you are your own expert. You know, there's things that will come in, you know, and test the timing and the process. Like, sometimes, you know, especially when things are coming in for us pretty strong, like we want to know, we want to get to the end of the book really fast, but really it's a process and we have to remember to kind of go through it. And I remember when I was really I'd say about like that 14 years ago was really when I kind of ramped up just knowing a bit more about who I am. And that's when I started to see light and have all those like crazy experiences. And I remember I was just in this place of seeking, like I just wanted answers. So I was going to every source possible. I was going to every person possible. I was going to every training, everything that I could possibly get my hands on. And while I do think that that's good and it's part of our experience and finding the breadcrumb trails and the process, but there were times that I remember going to, especially some really intuitive friends. It was just like, I just wanted them to give me answers. Well, what does this mean? What does this mean for me? Like, or, you know, what does this experience mean? What does this mean? Like if I'm seeing something, or what is this spirit that I saw? And like, how do I navigate this? And I remember I was looking for more tangible, concrete answers that were very like, this is what it is, like a textbook. Well, let's flip to page this and this and this, and this is what it means. And I remember some of these people I was reaching out to, they're like, I don't know, what does it mean for you? And I'd get so frustrated. Like, I want something tangible. But it was kind of like that. At that time, I definitely could have used that reminder a bit more about trusting yourself, because we've all got this, our own unique language that comes in. And so while it's great, like, heck, I mean, I love to be here. I love to serve. I love to help. I love to give as much as I can possibly get. But at the end of the day, we are our own experts. And like sometimes something that would mean something to one person is going to mean something to someone totally different. And it is like a language that you have to learn to speak, but you're the only one on the planet that can speak it. So that's why it's so important, that whole connection of just listening, connected, trusting yourself, trusting God, trusting the process, and knowing that it can work through this. So love it. Okay. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Okay. I love this comment, Natalie. Yeah, you go through phase of just gobbling everything up and then pause to digest. That is perfect. That's like ebb and flow, breathing, inhale, exhale, right? The ocean currents, like you go out and then you pull in. That is a great way to be and to do. And we do like that, be and do, because that's what it is. You're doing and then you're being, and doing and being. So great stuff. Okay, so some of the energy today kind of goes along with this too, is there's a great determination energy that is in the air. So this is like, there's just like this determination. It's just coming in kind of strong. It's like if you're going to set your sight on a goal or something to do or be or create or something, if you can set your eyes on it, then go ahead and go get it. Like, you're going to have a lot of energies that are supportive with that. Like, okay, let's just hone in and let's be a little determined that we can go that way. And then it was interesting because I started to hear a song play in my head. So this is kind of interesting, but for a little background on the song, if you're not familiar with this, is so I have a lot of ancestors that come through like Mormon pioneers, which were, they were persecuted for religious stuff out in the East in the United States. So they trekked, and they were a bunch of pioneers. They're trekking in like covered wagons, and they're trekking across to eventually settle into Utah. Okay, so I've got several on both sides of my parents' line. There's these pioneers that made that trek. And I mean, they faced a lot of stuff. I mean, they're traveling winter, and they're starving, and they're hurt, and I mean, they were losing loved ones all over the place. But there's a song that was created about this experience, or even during that time. I don't know the history of the song. I didn't look that up. But the song that comes in, and if you can just imagine these pioneers with big giant wheels, right? They've got covered wagons with big giant wheels, and horses or oxen or whatever pulling these wagons. But these wheels on the wagons were, they'd have to sometimes push them through the mud, push them over rocks. So the song is, put your shoulder to the wheel, push along. Actually, it's kind of funny. Should I sing it? It's like, put your shoulder to the wheel, push along. And then it's like, do your duty with a heart full of song. And so, do your duty with a heart full of song. We all have work. It's like, don't let no one shirk. put your shoulder to the wheel. Okay, I just sang like this little song for you. That was lovely. But that is what keeps playing in my head over and over. And I'm like, I don't know if it's like my ancestors singing to me or it's just the lyrics here, but this is what it is. There's a determination, like we're going to go get it. You got to put your shoulder to the wheel because that means you just got to kind of push it. You got to like work a little bit, right? So we're going to push it and we're going to do our work. We're going to each do our part. And then I love that second line. You're going to do your duty with a heart full of song. Because we all have work. We all have work. No one's going to shirk and like get rid of their work that they got to do. So let's have a heart full of song and just get in there and get it done. So that's the message for today. And I love it. I feel like we've kind of been in a little funky energy lately of just like, okay, drudging stuff up. And this is some forward movement energy, which is like a breath of fresh air. So lean into it, my friends. Yeah, my singing. I promise I can sing better than that. I actually was like in choir and stuff, but that wasn't my greatest. You should hear me on karaoke. That's where I shine. Okay, let's get to some questions today. Feel free to ask away. You can ask questions. Oh wait, that's not the one. Up here, I want the little ticker. Okay, go ahead and ask your questions, make any comments. If there's anything you want me to look at, I do have one that I was going to look at. It was from last week and I didn't get a chance to do it. And I would love to do it still because it's a mom and asking about her little baby. Okay, so this is for Rebecca. I know you asked this on the live and I didn't get to it. So we're going to look at your little baby. It's like, is there anything I could do to help my 7-month-old sleep better at night? He used to sleep great, but now he wakes up every hour screaming. So that is hard after I have a lot of children. After having a lot of children, I get it. Okay, so let's look at what's going on with the baby. And I love this. Something that's kind of fascinating too about children. As a mother, if you have a baby, you're giving permission to look at your baby, but it's really kind of fascinating to look at the phases of when, like as children, as they grow, you can see like in their developmental stages and their energy when they start saying no. So like sometimes if I'm checking to get permission to look at someone's energy, if it's a child, I like checking it, and it's really fascinating how like in the tween years, it's kind of like a hit and miss. By the time they're teenagers, absolutely, like you got to get permission for it because their energy is a little bit more resistant. Well, I mean, usually, but now I know this pattern enough that they just have their will. So it's kind of fascinating. All right, so let's look at this little baby. Okay, so I don't know if you've done this, Rebecca, but I've heard of people, I've not done it personally, but this is kind of what popped into my head, that to possibly take your baby to a chiropractor and get like an adjustment. Because it's just like sometimes the birth is so traumatic and they're kind of like squished in there and stuff. And I've heard that sometimes colicky and crying a lot can be relieved by getting a little infant adjustment just because things got put out of place. It's just like I'm seeing something here in the neck. It's like just kind of this discomfort. And maybe even I'm also seeing a little bit of energy here in like maybe in the mid back or kind of lower to mid back. And that some things could also be influencing the tummy, like this little stomach and giving them some stomach aches. And also too, this is so, I'll tell you what, the children coming in on this planet are so amazing. But I'm just kind of seeing that he is probably, he's a bit more spiritually sensitive. Like that's just what these children are experiencing now. I mean, I believe all children are, but I just think that we're having an amplified version of this. And it feels like the transition from like heaven to earth was a little bit more jarring for his senses. And so there might be some supportive tools that you could do, like calming music or baths where you just hold them and let them soak and kind of, or maybe even hold and get in the water with them and just like um, relax and just like float, kind of a sensory deprivation, like try to calm the senses down a bit because there's just a lot of stimulation and it's just like too much and it just wants like less so it can recover. It's anyway, let me know on that one. My 8-year-old daughter, can I tell you, well, she's been telling me this like for the year or two, but she described specifically like what it was like to be in my stomach. She's like, I remember it was dark and I can't find words for it, but it's like floating and it was like it just I didn't know anything else existed. And it was like she'll describe it. She's been doing it a long time. And I'm like, the way she describes it is pretty accurate. It's pretty crazy. Cool. So these sensitive children. Okay, let's go to some questions. So thanks for asking that, Rebecca. And let me know how that helps. Always would love to hear if it helps your little babies. Let's see. Let me check to see. Okay, good. We got some questions rolling in. Let's look at, yeah, Natalie, this is fun. Let's look at you. Let's look at this. Oh, should I back up so you can see me? All right. Speaking of pioneers, can you look at any spirit guides I have? So does that mean you have some ancestors with that as well? All right. And I have always felt like someone is around to make sure I keep my integrity in check. Like if I speed, I'm caught. I love that. I'm more like that. But when I was younger, I did not have that. I was like, I'll push it to the limits. So I respect that. Obedience. Actually, that's kind of what I'm leaning toward here too, is that you may actually have in there's 12 different categories that I've kind of gone through with gifts and spiritual gifts and gifts, but one of the categories are character traits. Like if you have a gift of honesty, sorry, I almost sneezed, but a gift of honesty or a gift of forgiveness, a gift of like peace or compassion. Like there's a lot of character traits that we each have that some may have naturally more than another. And it also could be some of in our membership, we go through and identify some of our like purpose words and stuff. Some of those things could actually be gifts of character traits that we have. And so I'm actually seeing this, there's a bunch of combinations here on this. So I'm seeing there's some kind of gift of, I want to say it's like a gift of alignment or something. I wanted to say integrity, or I wanted to say obedience, but it wasn't quite that. It was more like I want to do what's right and be aligned with the best thing. So it's like this gift of alignment that you may have here. And then I'm also, so that's a beautiful light side of what you're experiencing. And then I'm also seeing some childhood or like life experiences that perhaps made you be afraid of consequences. That could be parenting. It could be afraid of getting in trouble in school. Like maybe you watched other people afraid of getting in trouble, or you experienced getting in trouble, but there's something about some life experiences around getting in trouble that you're like, whoa, I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want to get in trouble. So avoiding getting in trouble. And then I'm also going to look at there's just those lovely generational beliefs that come through. Like I love our ancestors and our grandparents and our great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents, but sometimes their era was just so, for lack of a better word, shouldy, like you should do this, you should do that. There's so much should energy that's just through our lineage. And so I do see some generational like should energy of just, well, this is what you do. This is the best way to do it. And you should do this. And like, if you do something different, then you're going to get in trouble, or you're not going to have these good results. And it's like very well meaning. And it may have totally been true for some of those things, but like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah. Alicia put on there, you should eat all your food, right? Like, I mean, that's totally one of them. Like, you don't want to be wasteful. You should do this. You should, like, there's so many of them that come through our generational lineage. And so I definitely see that there's some of that should energy going through the generational. And I'm wondering if that's what you're feeling with the, like thinking, oh, that's not the one. Oops, sorry. Okay, oops, this one. Natalie. Okay. Like to see if you have any guides. I feel like that's kind of the voices that you're hearing is maybe some of the generational, like your ancestors kind of saying, this is the best thing to do. And they may actually be near you sometimes. Like sometimes if they were humans that lived on the planet and they were loved ones and then on the other side, sometimes they're not always going to be giving you the best advice. They can usually give you good stuff, but sometimes there's some residual there that, so it's always good to like check it, you know, like pray about it and see if that's aligned for you. So anyway, let me know if that helps and how that was. I think we could probably all relate to some of that. And Karen, that is so cool. You can remember. Oh, I gotta highlight that. Floating in, that's so crazy. Yeah. That's how kind of how my 8-year-old describes it. She just says that like there wasn't a lot of, she just mainly talks about like not knowing other things existed and just kind of that feeling of floating. And like there wasn't a lot of, she remembers coming out and it being so bright, it like hurt her eyes. And there was just so much around her that it was super scary for her to come out. Yeah, she goes through. All right. Okay, so let's go to this one. This is kind of fun. Gosh, I feel like you can't see me. So I have this pinging on the right side of the top of my head. It's been almost a week since it started, and I'm not sure what's up. Would you have a breadcrumb for me? A breadcrumb of insight is what's going on. Okay, one of the first things, and I know you, Elena, and I know you do have some of that clairsentience. And that's kind of an interesting thing, like thinking about the symbolism of the head and like a little pinging. I would actually maybe even ask, like sometimes I'll get little tap or like pinging feelings, and it's something that I'm supposed to pay attention to or something I'm supposed to listen to, or there's something like a message for me. So I'm curious if you've answered it and said, yes, like what is this pinging? And see if you can kind of get some impression on where it goes. Like, where is it coming from? Who is it? What are they trying to say? Why is it there? You know, especially on the crown, there's probably some good messages for you there. Let me see if I can look at the energy of it really fast too. There's some energy connected also to your mouth. So I almost think it's some kind of message, and it's something that you're supposed to speak or do or say or whatever, express in some way, because it feels like beep. Like, so maybe some journaling, asking those questions, maybe talking it out. If you're like me, I'm the total verbal processor. Sometimes it helps just to have someone to talk to and kind of figure out what it is. And be like, it feels like this, or it feels like this. And this is kind of my impressions. Like follow any of those impressions, thoughts, feelings, images, sensations, maybe even write them on a paper. See if you can write out all the clues. I love actually drawing things too. Sometimes like, I'm just like, I don't know what it is. What if I just draw it like with colors or crayons or a pen? Like if I were to put an image to what this is, what would it be? And it kind of takes the pressure off with the words and getting it right. And then you can kind of get more clues and follow those clues. So definitely let me know on that one. That one's really cool. All right, let's do, oh my goodness, I'm about to sneeze. So hold on. I muted, so you didn't really sneeze. Okay. Let's look at Carissa. We'll go to you next, my dear. And we're just going to not see me through this. All right. Would you look into the energy of a move I'm making to Utah? Ooh, exciting. I've worked on healing some things since I asked you about it, and I'm curious to see if energy has changed around it. Last time you said it could be a difficult path moving there, but that there could be a puzzle piece for me to get down there. That's right. I remember some of that. Okay, let's look at, I mean, like as you're describing it, I'm like, I'm still seeing some of this. Yeah, I definitely see a lot of light around the path to Utah, so that's kind of cool. It's like I'm seeing a solid path of like the gold, like kind of a God strand light, like kind of where that goldish, yellowish, like streaming down to Utah. So I see that. And I still see like there's, if you were to picture like little, like if you were to draw ocean waves, like on a little sketch, and it's like, wee, 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 like the waves, I see like a wave of, it's kind of a little dark strand, but doesn't necessarily mean evil in this way. It just means I see the God strand and I see some of this little bumpy, turbulent energy in underneath. Now that's not something to fear. That just means hold to the faith, like hold your faith, like keep in mind that there's going to be a way, even though there may be ups and downs or things that you think are going to work and may not work exactly as you thought, or you may, whatever these unexpected things are, because that's kind of a wave thing. It's like the highs and lows, like ride the waves, but know and hold to that faith. One of my favorite songs is that Hillsong United. Did I say that right? All of a sudden it left my brain. But the song Oceans, that is a perfect song for this energy that I'm seeing. If you were to put that energy in a song, it would be the song Oceans. And it's like, because it says like, I've got to keep my eyes above the waves. So it's like, as these waves come, just keep your eyes above it. This is just a growth opportunity all around. There's definitely like you even asked something about a puzzle piece, but I feel like this is part of your path. It's like you have followed how we talk about the breadcrumb trails, like you got to follow the path. Like you're moving, you're physically moving. Like even sometimes when I say like God can't move a parked car, you got to get moving. You're literally moving. So on this path, you're going to then kind of bump into things and kind of move and flow with it. And just remember that it's all going to be good. There's lessons and growth, and there's even going to be some good and some flow. People that you're going to meet, people that you can serve, like something developmentally or even business wise, there's something growth there. There's friends to meet. I don't know if you have children, but could definitely see some of that. Definitely helping with that. Or like with friends there, but I just see people, I see opportunities, I see growth, I see unexpected things that you may not know, but that it can totally just keep the faith and hold to it. Keep your eyes above the wave. The beautiful song of Oceans. So let me know on that one. I'm curious how that resonates. And keep me posted on the process. Like once you get down here, what are you experiencing? That'd be kind of fun to see. It'd be fun to hear how it is going for you after you've done it, So very cool. All right. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, I love the comments here, you guys. I love the baby comments. They're giving some second witnesses to some of those cranial adjustments for Rebecca and her little baby, these spiritual sensitive children. Okay, Nancy, let's go to, and Nicole, thank you for posting a link for it. Gosh, that is awesome. We're going to have to also make sure Rebecca catches that link in there. Very cool. Okay, let's look at, okay, let's go to Kara. Let's go to you, and then I'll go back up to another one here. But welcome, Kara. I'm so happy to be able to help you today. Struggling with AFib. I've had a really hard time this last year with all the negative energy. Does that weaken my heart? Oh yeah. Yeah, let's look at the heart energy and see what's going on that is tugging at your heart. Oh yeah, you're holding a lot in your heart and your head. It's like I'm just getting like a lot. I see a lot of like very well-meaning, loving energy. caring for other people, caring about the planet, wanting to make sure that people get along, wanting to help people be happy and to make things as best as possible and to serve. But what is happening here is I'm seeing a lot of this kind of chaotic spiral energy enter your head and also the heart. Like it's like you're taking all of everyone's pains and almost absorbing into your heart like it's your own because you're thinking about them. And this is where the energy to the mind comes in, because it's like you're worrying about people. I'm worrying about them. Oh, I'm thinking about them. Oh, that must be really hard for them. And how can I help them? Or how can I make this better? Or, oh, this hurts my heart. Like I just see like you have some very beautiful energy that just like loves and cares for people. But the shadow side of that gift is that perhaps you've entangled yourself too much. It's like there's a place that we all kind of have to, I want to say, evolve to. Like it's truly a lesson I think all of us have to kind of go through in some degree or another. But that is the lesson of learning that we are not anybody's savior. We cannot save them from things. We can encourage them. We can be a cheerleader. We can help remind them, hey, you're awesome, you're powerful and strong. But at the end of the day, there are times that we're going to be asked just to see people struggle and not be able to take their pain away. And in fact, if we try to take their pain away too much, we could be robbing them of a very important opportunity to grow, because people grow through the struggles, right? Like if you save them too much, it enables them, or then they will blame you if things don't work out, or they could resent you because you may feel like you've had too much say or too much control in their life, and they're going to try to push back at you, and because you've been too much in it. And it's like, so letting someone just sit in some of the discomfort of their own life teaches them accountability. It teaches empowerment. It reminds them that they ultimately have some control over themselves on how to make their lives better. And that's not easy to do, especially have such a loving, caring heart. It's not easy to watch someone be in uncomfortable or painful situations. So one of the questions that I've started that I do for myself is like, try to check in. Am I trying to save someone from pain because I'm trying to lessen how uncomfortable it makes me? Or is it in their best interest for me to help them? Right? Because sometimes, we can serve and we can help, but we're not meant to save anybody. Like that's not our role on this earth, to be a savior. And so just that question in itself is this something I'm supposed to serve and to help them with? Or is this something that am I trying to save them from their pain, just to make my pain, my uncomfortableness with watching them struggle, easier? And if that's the case, if it's that second question, then it's like, well, then how can I exist with watching that? Right. And it honestly comes down to taking a higher perspective, learning to be a little bit more objective, like have faith in the long-term life experience instead of just right now. Like that painful experience that might be, or even the chaos, the struggles, the turmoils around the world, all the things that we're seeing around us, those could be really hard to experience and to witness. But long-term, if remember, like there's chaos and there's hardship that comes first before there is the prize at the end, or the reward, right? The higher level of living does not come until after a bit of the chaos. Now, we've got a free training on this, on navigating the challenges of an awakening. Now, this is just an awakening, but there are a lot of great nuggets here about the process of evolution and how to grow and ascend to the next level with everything in life. And so navigating the challenges of an awakening is a free training that we have. You can just go to theintuitiongym.com/awakening. It's meaty. It's a good one. It's like core stuff that helps. Oh my goodness, like helps my happiness so much, just knowing the things that are in that training. So I'll leave that up for a second. But yeah, I would love to hear how that resonates with you. I'm also thinking too that there is some really great understandings there with your intuitive personality type, you were probably a heart, would be my guess. Like there's 4 different intuitive personality types. It's like there's the sky, heart, mind, and earth. And if you've got that heart, and then if you've got some spiritual senses of clear empathy or clear the heart, the feeling, and like clear emotions, like here feeling people's emotions, that goes right to the heart. So good luck with that, my dear. And definitely I would start to just, if you can even just kind of just imagine dropping some of the things that you've been carrying for other people. Can you release some of the emotions or the burdens that you've been carrying for them? They're theirs to carry. You're there. You can just support and be like, hey, look, there's some suggestions, but you can't own that, or else it tugs on your heart and it can definitely cause problems. I used to have it so much to the point that I would get my heart checked out. I've done all the like EKG, sleep with little heart monitors, and I found out it was just me sucking too much energy into my heart. All right, let's do one more today. Let's see. Let's go to Donna Marie. Oh, look at this, Tiffany. Yeah, there's a lot of heart pain in there. In fact, we could just love you, Kara. Like that's a lot of heart energy. Just shows that you've got so much care in your heart, and there's just a lot that you're carrying and holding. So, okay, let's see here. Where did it go? Where'd it go? Donna Marie, welcome. Yes, let's do a reading for you. We'll just do a general reading and see what your energy and what the light and the energy is saying today. So, welcome. I'll keep it up. Okay, let's look at this. Sorry, I'm just having to like clear out any other energies that are coming in. Okay, so let's just look right here. One of the first things that I'm seeing is it's like I'm seeing a lot of energy and light coming down through your arms. So I'm trying to figure out what that is and where where else it's coming, and see if we can get some more clues on this. Okay, so here's kind of some of the images that I'm seeing. It's really fun to see. So I'm seeing, so like I said, this energy coming down through your arms, but it's also coming up through, coming down like through the mind, and it's like coming down into the arms. There's also like a sensation, a little bit of an energy thing that I'm seeing in the mouth and the throat. And so the message here that I'm kind of picking up here is that that you have maybe some desires, like you're trying to figure out who to serve. Like, what can I do? What can I do to help? What can I do to help people? And then this energy here in the mouth, when I was looking at kind of the patterns of that, it reminded me of, it looks like an optimist type energy, where it's like, I just want to help people be happy or to feel better. I'm seeing like smiles on the faces, like you just want to just like help people be happy, and how can I serve them and help them be happy and feel better and happier. So that's a beautiful little flow there. It also kind of gives some clues. You probably have some type of clear knowing with the way that the energy comes into your head, the claircognizant or clear knowing. And then I'm curious where there's this energy in the mouth, either it's some kind of clear expression, like you've got to express something, like that smile. But I also wonder, because of the light and the energy that's right there, if there is maybe some clear taste. Like that's one of the spiritual senses, is like a taste. There could be smell, taste, hear, but there's actually 10 of them that I've gone through just based on. Some I gathered like are common ones that we might have heard before, but some I invented myself through looking at people's energy. So there's 10 of them. If you wanted to learn more about those, it's theintuition.com senses. It's a free training. You can learn about your spiritual senses. But it feels like there's just this really fun, just like, hey, I just want people to be happy. And then, but this sensory in your mouth and the taste, it's like, I wouldn't, like, I feel like that's almost a tool that you could tap into, kind of some discernment things of being able to gauge what kind of things are truth and what things can help people be happy. And it's really coupled with the head and the mind, and then through your arms. So and too with the arms, that could be like a clear expression or even a clear mobility of just like, I got to do something to help or do something to get inspiration. So anyway, let me know how that resonated, Donna Marie. That is really fun. I love that. That's some beautiful, beautiful energy there. And it's necessary right now. Like I can imagine that with that being maybe one of your gifts and strengths, then when there is a lot of sadness or heaviness or blah, or you can't do things to help make things better, it could be very difficult for you. So that's kind of the flip side of that gift. Like it's like all these things are great strengths, but then it could be hard for you, you know, if you can't, or if you can't help someone be happy or can't express yourself, it just is going to feel really kind of stuck and stagnant for you. So definitely, I want to know how that resonates for you. Welcome. That was really fun to hear. All right, my friends. I love all of these comments. Oh, you guys, I just love you. Thanks for the love here. We got some love coming in to each other, which is amazing. To each other and you guys just shared me some love to me too. So love this. It's a place of loving. Love it, love it. And, you know, speaking of love, we also always want to encourage, please consider paying it forward. Let's love on other people. Let them know, share a message. You can, you know, share it in a group, post it, whatever. Like, let's pay it forward. Let's continue sharing the love. And then if you do have a question, you can even ask anonymously if you want, or you can, or if you're going to have to catch the replay or whatever, like feel free. You can ask before, during, or after the show. In the comments, you can message the Intuition Gym page. You can email us if that is easier, because I know some people are watching on YouTube. We do stream to YouTube too. So however works best for you, feel free to ask those questions and then we can get to them. If you're on live, I definitely get to more of those than faster. Sometimes I get a little bit of a list on the other one, but we're here for you. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the love to each other and here in this space. You guys make it so fun. So, all right. Thank you. And I will talk to you later. See ya. Bye.